Since the day Vanguard Zombies dropped, we've wanted new maps, and Treyarch are finally releasing a new map soon. And in this video, we're going to tell you everything we know so far about this new map, its location, what's going to happen, and also discuss if this is going to change Vanguard Zombies in a big way. Now, regardless if you like Vanguard Zombies or not, this is a new map coming. It's new content. We're going to be talking about it. But obviously, everything we're talking about, we're going to take with a bit of skepticism, as we just don't know how good this is going to be. Nevertheless, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest for zombies and Call of Duty as a whole. And I hear one like on this video is going to improve zombies when this next map comes out. Well, we can at least hope so. Now, with the most recent Vanguard Zombies update, Treyarch have actually added a mini Easter egg quest of sorts that sets up the events for this new map and what's going to happen. I'm not going to lie, it was actually quite a pleasant surprise to experience a little mini Easter egg quest. But during it, we learned a few crucial points that will lead us to the future. It's all centered around this new book in the hub world, which you can use to upgrade your field upgrades, called the Tome of Rituals. There is one specific page in the Tome of Rituals book which has been used for a spell to seal Dr. Croft within the room that he's trapped in. Now, this page is currently stuck in Shino Numa, and it's sealed by magic anchors, keeping the page in place so we can't get it.
During my servitude to Devarheit, I tracked the tome's scattered pages around the world. The book out there is what we managed to restore. But some pages are still loose. You just saw one, secured by those magic anchors.
What I sensed as a void was no ordinary spell. Von List and Cortifex clearly don't want us to get it.
Which means that page may be the key to defeating Von List.
Following on from this conversation, the four Dark Aether entities decide to talk in private via a speaking stone in the apartments on what they can do next to break this page. Nauticus the Conqueror proposes that a shield is what us humans will need in order to protect us from Cortifex, and that a shield that belonged to the commander of the Night Legions is still somewhere in the Dark Aether, and that finding and awakening the shield may require more power than the four of them combined. Coming back to Von List's office, a new portal has appeared which none of the four Dark Aether entities summoned. But this portal leads somewhere outside the barrier spell, trapping everyone within Stalingrad. And that after all this time of the Dark Aether entities sending messages to the Dark Aether requesting help, they finally get a response. And this is another Dark Aether god called Vercanna the Last, who will be aiding us as a friend. Her entire clan hunted down by Cortifex's assassins, their sacred forests reduced to ash. Vercanna the Last still hasn't embedded herself within an artifact, which means we'll be getting a new field upgrade with Season 2, which with this green color to me signifies healing aura or potentially toxic growth. But this next clue confirms exactly where we're going by saying she's trying to tell us something with this portal. The desert that lies beyond must be our next front in the war against Cortifex. But only with Vercanna's help can we pass through that portal and proceed with the plan Nauticus proposed. The next zombies map location we're gonna have is a map set in Egypt, which is the first time in a long time that zombies will be in Egypt. Now, Treyarch from their blog post described that we're getting a brand new hub world with new locations to do objectives on, including one completely unique and original set in the Dark Aether, which I assume would tie in with this idea of us getting this new shield, which could also be one of the multiple new wonder weapons we're getting. But as far as what the Egyptian zombies map could look like, it could very much be like this, which is the multiplayer map Desert Siege. And if Red Star is the hub world for Duran Fang, which is a multiplayer map, then there's a good chance that this is going to be what Egypt is going to look like. And last time we saw an Egyptian zombies map really was like 9, but that wasn't really Egyptian, it was just more Egyptian styled. So really hope we see some exciting things within this, because zombies and Egypt, people have wanted that for so long, and now we're getting it. The idea and storyline behind an Egypt zombies map has been a thing since Vanguard Zombies was not even fully revealed. During the teasers we were getting in Cold War intel, there was a mention of a rune that was discovered in Mexico that was similar to the findings that were found in Egypt. So even back then I was thinking, wait a minute, could we potentially get a zombies map in Egypt? And it looks like that's what we're getting, although it's not quite the same though, is it? Nevertheless though, it does follow on from that, and even in the intro cutscene you can find that one of the runes, the artifacts, were discovered in Egypt on this map that Von List is showing. And there's some really cool backstory and some radios that describe that there is a temple of Osiris here.
Was there some vulnerability mentioned in those pages? Some threat to his plans? I was not on the expedition that recovered the scepter. All I know is it was found in Egypt's eastern desert, far from the great cities of antiquity. I heard there was a temple to Osiris there, long forgotten and not mentioned in ancient records. I suspect those pages may provide a breakthrough for our little resistance movement. There must be some reason Von List hid them.
Now, the Temple of Osiris is called the Great Osiris Temple, or the Temple of Seti I, which is situated in Abydos, one of the most important archaeological sites of ancient Egypt, and it was a necropolis for Egypt's earliest kings and later became a pilgrimage center for the worship of the god Osiris. Like, if Treyarch are playing their cards right, this could actually be very, very cool. Now, it's all very vague exactly why Von List and Cortifex are hiding this specific page from us, but obviously the spells contained on this specific page are going to be catastrophically bad for Cortifex and could be the end of him if we can get our hands on it. And we learned in another radio from Von List that this mission in Egypt is absolutely vital to protecting Cortifex, and that this gets top priority.
Be advised that another area of operations is underway. You may hear radio traffic from our unit in the eastern desert of Egypt. Theirs is a mission vital to protecting our most valuable ally, Herr Cortifex. Requests from this task force get top priority. So far, Kraft's little band of guerrillas have not targeted that operation, and I intend to keep it that way.
So it does look like there's a race against time between Von List and Cortifex in Egypt, and us, the 4 Dark Aether entities, and the new one. Get to Egypt, explore this new hub world, discover that Dark Aether shield, and try and break the anchors holding that page in Shinonuma from the Tome of Rituals so that we can actually defeat Cortifex once and for all. But I do have a feeling that if this does happen within Season 2, it can't really be the end of the storyline there, because defeating Cortifex sounds like the end of this prequel story to the Dark Aether that we're getting right now. And of course, there can't be. There's got to be more than that. And there most likely will be some twists and turns that we're not expecting. But we are getting multiple new wonder weapons, so a really cool Dark Aether shield could be one of the first that we're going to see. What's also interesting is that in a radio on Shinonuma from Invicta, we learned that each of the Dark Aether entities had their favorite mortals to visit, and he specifies that for Cortifex, his favorites were the Egyptians. There was something about the Egyptians that he was drawn to, and we learn in a recent new intel that Syraxis had the idea to make artifacts that could bond them to mortals, but it took Bellacar's cunning to actually make it work. And even so, they had to each craft their own artifact, and they tried to make them fit the cultures they wanted to visit. And Invicta describes that Cortifex is binded to an artifact which is simply 2 pyramids on a stick. The intel ends with the Dark Entities explaining how they cast these artifacts through the Dark Aether, through the veil, which then humans pick them up that they become bonded with. And there is a large history that these entities have had bonding with different humans. It sounds like that included Cortifex. They were all friends at one point, and then obviously Cortifex had to bond with someone who could match him in human form, and here we have what happens in Vanguard Zombies. Story is absolutely starting to get very, very interesting, and it's of course in true Treyarch fashion. I just really hope that with this new story we're getting and what leads on, that the gameplay also improves as well, so it's a very engaging experience. But overall, that's everything you need to know so far about this new DLC map and where we're headed in the future. Let me know what you think of all of this in the comment section down below, and if you want to see this new update in full with round-based mode gameplay, this full mini Easter egg playing out for you guys, it's linked on your screen right now. You can click that and I'll see you there in just a few moments.